Hey there, Jeff here, and today we're going to look at how many customers or devoted fans you really need in order to have a successful and sustainable career working for yourself.
You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You know you could.
What's up, Jeff here, coming to you from my home studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. You got to admit it, this is a pretty incredible time we're living in these days. More and more people are building 6 and in some cases 7-figure businesses relatively easy from their own homes without all the overhead and expenses you'd have with a traditional business. The amazing thing is that you really don't need a whole lot of customers to make a pretty decent living doing what you do. In fact, there's a concept called the 1,000 True Fans Theory that basically says you only need about 1,000 truly dedicated, happy customers or clients, and obviously some sort of product or service that costs an average of around $100 a year, and you've got yourself a 6-figure business. So what exactly counts as a true fan? Well, according to an essay written back in 2008 by a fellow named Kevin Kelly, the founder of Wired magazine, a true fan is basically someone who will gladly support you by paying for anything and everything you create. They'll literally do anything to be a part of your circle, buying all of your products or services, evangelizing and sharing what you do with everyone because to them, it just doesn't get any better than what you do. Pretty cool, right? If you think that sounds too good to be true, let's do a little simple math. 1,000 fans paying you $100 comes out to $100,000 a year, which isn't bad at all for a one-person army looking to quit their day job. I mean, let's be honest. If you're just starting out, shooting for 1 million followers right out of the gate probably isn't realistic. It sounds cool for sure and could be motivating for some, but I'd put a damper on your hustle if you only end up with 100 followers after a year. But if your goal is 1,000 people who love and buy everything you have to offer, that can change the game entirely. Mainly because 1,000 people is a far more attainable and realistic number. Also, since you're not necessarily worried about attracting everyone, you don't need to spend anywhere near as much on advertising, which means you can even say no to some people and only do business with people you want to work with. Your entire business model changes from how can I reach more people to how can I create the best product for the people who are already interested in what I do. These days, everyone's so obsessed with page views, followers, likes, clicks, and 1,000 other metrics, it just never ends, and the rules are constantly changing. If you're working alone with a limited budget, it'll be almost impossible competing with the big guns in your industry. But once you stop worrying about getting everyone's attention, you can focus on the things that really matter, like making your product the best it can be. Eventually, those who do find you will hopefully share with their friends, putting you well on your way to building your audience. Which brings us to the next point, making the thing you're doing share-worthy. Why do people share stuff online anyway? Well, according to studies made by people a lot smarter than me, the 2 main reasons people share stuff online are A, to help others by sharing products, services, or causes they find interesting that they think might help someone else in some way, and B, to define themselves with the content they share. For example, if you share something funny, you're hoping to project yourself as a funny person to your circle of friends. If someone shares tech-related stuff, they want the world to know that they're tech-savvy. The same can be said for music, art, business, and so on. And by creating something valuable that's specifically designed for a certain group of people, there's a good chance you'll have something that some of these people would consider share-worthy. So how can you go about finding your 1,000 true fans? Well, it's a fairly straightforward approach. You'll either find a niche and create something that's worth paying for, and then once you have a product, find your 1,000 true fans, or you can do the opposite, building an audience first and then create a product that really speaks to the people who follow you. Regardless of your approach, keep in mind just because it sounds easy doesn't mean it's a walk in the park. Growing an audience and creating a product will take some time and a specific set of skills, not to mention patience and persistence and a good deal of stamina. You want to manage your expectations at the beginning at least so you don't get burned out when you're not independently wealthy after a few weeks. So let me give you a couple of actionable tips for building your audience of 1,000 paying fans. Number 1, speak up. The only way you can stand out these days is by being yourself. In other words, be authentic with what you believe is right. Find your voice and don't try to be someone you're not. Number 2, avoid trends. Things come and go. You don't need to go chasing after the next big thing just because it sounds cool today. Trends are usually a good way to spot an opportunity, but can be a bad idea if you're trying to build something that stands the test of time. Number 3, focus on one thing. You don't need a huge portfolio of products and case studies to reach 1,000 clients. This can easily be achieved by producing just one thing. This one thing concept is effective for two main reasons. One, it forces you to focus. Number two, the quality of the product will probably be better since that's the main thing you're building. Number four, choose one platform. You don't have to dominate every social media channel, especially if you're on your own. Just choose one platform and focus on building your audience there. Personally, I suggest going with your own site and an email list. The return on investment from an engaged email list is much higher than having a massive following on the major social media platforms for several reasons. Mainly, there are way fewer distractions when you send someone an email as opposed to sharing something online where you have just a few seconds to grab someone's attention before they continue scrolling. And an email list is an asset that you own and control. So if the social media platform shuts down or you get kicked off, you still have your database of potential customers. Number five, direct contact. You probably don't have a direct relationship with the CEO of your bank or with the corporate owners of a large retail store. That's normal since these institutions have thousands and sometimes millions of customers. One of the benefits of having a smaller circle of fans is that it's a lot easier to develop a direct relationship with your tribe who will respond really well to personal stories that make them think they have something in common with you. Number six, persistence. Not only in terms of consistent updates, but also by continuously telling people why they should care about what you offer. People rarely fall in love with your work at first sight. It usually takes a while. But after you've earned their trust, if you're persistent, others will spot that and eventually join your circle. Number seven, ask for feedback. You need to figure out what your fan base wants. The best way to do that is by simply asking them. Now, this can be done through a group on social media, or better yet, once you have your site set up, add a subscription box and collect emails. Then simply ask your subscribers what they want from you. Make it easy on yourself and let them tell you directly so you can give them exactly what they want. Now, while the 1,000 fans concept sounds simple, you're probably not going to be quitting your job tomorrow. It's not quite that easy. It also doesn't mean that you only need to show your work to 1,000 people and then you're set for the rest of your life. Since your product won't be for everybody, this means you'll probably need to reach several thousand people until you find your true fan base. So this might take some time and persistence, but it's definitely doable, especially nowadays. Hopefully by now you're beginning to realize that having your own fan club isn't just reserved for celebrities anymore. You too can build a tribe of people who will literally throw money at you for as long as you can provide value to them. And all it takes is a core group of 1,000 devoted followers to put you in a position where you'll never have to work for someone else ever again. The question is, are you up for the challenge? Do you have something others would be willing to pay for? I'm willing to bet the answer is yes. We all like different things. That weird hobby you're hiding from the world is something a lot of people would like to see more of, even if it's not so appropriate to mention at the dinner table. Don't worry, with almost 8 billion people in the world, there's bound to be at least 1,000 folks who somehow dig what you do. Your job is to tell the world and let them come to you. As always, I hope you got some value out of this. If so, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more tips on building a business that puts you in control of your financial future. And if you're looking to build a loyal tribe of your own, hit me up and I'd be happy to help get you set up with an affordable way to do just that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.